2020 is proving a challenging year for businesses large and small in all jurisdictions around the world. Particularly for small and medium enterprises, a huge challenge is maintaining updates and information as it relates to their compliance program, not just for regulatory compliance, also things like cybersecurity, data protection and financial crime. Something for many businesses to consider is compliance as a service, using elements of outsourcing compliance to achieve the same objectives, whilst there's periods of difficulty, uncertainty, and for many organisations, lower level of revenue coming in the business, meaning costs need to be controlled fairly tightly. Organisations can use outsourced compliance as a service providers to do things such as risk assessments and risk reviews, policy, gap analysis, implementation and updates, as well as looking at procedural manuals, review of training materials and putting in place plans for future learning and development across the organisation, reviews of overall frameworks including benchmarking reviews, qualitative and quantitative surveys, as well as thinking about measuring compliance going forward with a view on internal and external measurements of stakeholders. There is plenty that can be done even in an incredibly challenging, difficult period such as this. Things to consider if you are looking at compliance as a service is the type of outsource provider you're dealing with. Do they have expertise and information in the relevant areas for your business? So the background in the right industry, the right verticals for you? Have they got the jurisdictional and geographic exposure that would be useful for your business? Do they have a track record of working with other similar like-minded organisations, or are they new to some of these areas? If you're doing something particularly niche or difficult, it's always a good idea to look, at least in the first instance, for people that might have experience in that area. Bear in mind, of course, we need to avoid producing a wish list. Here are the 5, 8 or 10 things that are mandatory which no one organisation could provide. There's nothing wrong with using multiple compliance as a service vendors to achieve the objectives you have in mind.